Hello, welcome to this getting started with Create. So I played with Create before, right when it came out, back in 1.14 I think it was. But I want to take a look and see like how we might actually get started, and maybe it'll be useful for you as well. So I'm pretty sure we need to get started with a water wheel. And that is made with slabs and a cogwheel, which requires andesite alloy. And I think andesite alloy is actually used in quite a lot of stuff in Create. So, and the next thing you also need, I think, is a depot. Okay, so there's this menu. Wow, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen this before. A lot of GUI stuff here. And the depot, how is that actually made? Andesite casing, which also needs andesite alloy. I think we also need the presser as well to make plates. Mechanical press. Iron needs cogwheels. Okay. So the two types of cogwheel. I just will take a bunch of them. And we need this. Also andesite alloy. And the other thing we might need is a water bucket to make the water wheel turn. Because I believe the next tier is the windmill, right? If you look at the windmill, you need a turntable. You could potentially make the windmill stay off, I think. There seems to be some reason that you don't, but I'd probably go for the windmill. We're going to start with this anyway. So probably the best way to do this is just get some stone. Alright, so we could say that is one way to do it. Okay, so that's probably so this is probably the simplest way to place the water wheel. It just requires 7 blocks. So this is probably the quickest way to place the water wheel. It just requires the 7 blocks. So these two are just underneath both the source block and the flowing block. You can also get these things, right? And I think these go. I think we can put those in here somewhere. No, they have to go in here. All right. That's interesting. What happens if you place it like that? It doesn't seem to do much different. So then you can place the mechanical press here. I think if we wanted to rotate, we can use the wrench. Let's see. I think, yeah, you would need to place it better. But we're trying to make the sheets at the moment anyway. And I believe you place, and then you put the... Alright, so then you can place a press here and a depot underneath, right? And then I think it's that is like how to get the main ingredient, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's how you get sheets. So instead of so on the other side, what I think we'll do is we'll do the gearbox, right? So that can allow us to 2 exits. I think it does, right? So at this point you can do stuff with the speed, right? So if I do this, oops, that was cool though. So you do need backing blocks for most of this stuff. So let's try and change the speed quickly. Now we are actually doing a... Okay. It looks like actually a windmill is an early game thing. Brackets. Let's see what that is, shall we? This is just decoration, okay. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Okay, it doesn't do anything. I wonder if there's actually a way to break that there. Can we not see the actual speed? Shows you the generator stats. So typically, I think in this mod you want like a belt. And these are made out of kelp. Yeah, that's right. Let's just... I'll do one higher here. Just so we can do like a... I don't know if you're supposed to do like... Kind of makes sense to do it in like this pattern, right? So the big ones are clockwise and these ones are anti-clockwise. This, I think, lets you get a belt, right? Yeah, I mean, that seems to make sense, right? I'm curious to see what the one above might be like. Yeah. All right, so that's one way to do it. But I think the better way to do it. Okay, so these gives you 12. So how does it get from 12 to 96? That's interesting. It gives you that little arrow. Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool. Do you need to have a backing on it? If I wanted to go up consistently, it would let me do that. It does seem to let you actually go to different directions. I wonder why it's suggesting that, though. Is it because I happen to have these in an earlier slot? The answer is yes. So it's actually pretty quick to do that sort of thing. So the speedometer gives you a rotation speed. Is that going to be the same for this? I was actually going at double the speed of this one. I think maybe the rule is that the backing one has to be. Right, so that doubles the speed. All right, so if you look at these two, this one's going at 6. That one's going at 12. Let me see this. It's going at 12 as well. That's a pretty handy way to see the speed of the stuff. If I wanted to increase the speed again, this is decreased it, right? Right, so yeah, so it's pretty straightforward, but so yeah, we've got to 6 here. Now we've got one going at 12. So we essentially know that the only way to get... See, I don't really like that in terms of... This should go faster now, right? If we put one on... we could probably put it here. Let's just check the speed. Should be 24 though, I think. Yeah. The other thing then is to look at... now what we'd like to do is... I'm not sure exactly how the intersection in terms of the placement of this way around works. These things I think are what you need. You probably need a drive of some kind. Okay, so that's 24, 6. So you can see we've got a bunch of different speeds. So that's good. Let's see what else there is then. So yeah, let's take a look at some of the other things. So millstone, how would you go about making that? Pretty straightforward as well. A lot of these things you can do like pretty much straight off the bat. What does it do though? Interesting. So I use this, the mechanical press. Kinetic stress impact 8 times the RPM. So I believe the next thing to do is the mechanical mixer, which requires 30. Okay, so right, so I was looking at this. So I believe the next thing you want afterwards is the mechanical mixer, which requires 30, right? So we look at the current speed. You can see we're at 24 already. So that one, yeah, so we've got from 6. So it looks like it's actually pretty straightforward, but you do have to keep on going forward. That is the only problem. I'm going to try to see if I can work out a way to not go forward as well. So then we can put a bigger one here. And then we get to the right speed, right? So that's going to be 24. But then you see once we go on the diagonal down again, So we look at the actual placement. It's like there, right? Look at the placement. It's just one. It's just in this spot. 2 and 1 there. And it doesn't really matter where we place it. And that should be the 48 we need, right? And then you'd be able to place a, was it mixer? Was there anything else that is required for this thing? Is that a mixer? That's not a mixer. Mixer. Yeah, I don't really like that. Mechanical ones. Honestly, I don't really like the. This is yeah. Let's see what else there is. So you can put a tunnel on a belt. So look at that. Okay. Well, you can really put a lot of stuff into it, and then there'll be input stuff as well. You can still access it, which is cool. So there's that. What else is there? Okay, so apart from the speedometer, there's also these. Let me just see what other ohmeters are. Just the speed and the stressometer. So this is like a network tool. Oh, interesting. I wonder what it tells me, like directly from the water wheel. Okay, so it counts as it's just like one big system. 96. 48 being used. Oh, I see. So it's actually. What would it say now? Now it's full, right? So I have interest. If I put another one, what's this thing called? Another mechanical press on the back, then we get to overstressed. Interesting. All right, I think that's going to do it for the first episode here of Create. Just wanted to have a little look at some of the stuff. It doesn't seem too. What is this cuckoo clock? Cuckoo clock. It looks like there's just like various things that you put on, right? That's cool though. But yeah, I think like that's going to do it for this first episode of Create. In general, I think you essentially want to get to the. I think like you need the mixer, you need the press. The millstone, I imagine, gets other recipes as well. Like it probably does like bone meal or something, right? It's normally what millstones do. Millstone is for dye and leather. That's really all it does. This thing, what was this? The empty blaze burner. You need to right click a blaze with the empty burner. Let's try that. So you need an empty, let's just see how this is actually achieved. Iron sheets we've already worked out to do. There's also the shape, what was this? The mechanical crafter. Oh, we could try that, we don't really need this. So mechanical crafter. Let's see what this thing does. Targets for mechanical arms. So this looks like a whole other section. The blaze burner. Okay, so this is a heat source, similar to like, you know, like a resistive heater, whatever it is. Blaze burner. Does that mean like cooking something like stone is used in a blaze burner? Bulk blasting. Fan behind lava. So really, all these things tell you is that like kinetic stress. But yeah, I think we're going to do it. I think we'll just leave it at that for now. So thanks for watching.